Prince George, the future king of the United Kingdom, has a life that's already filled with unimaginable privilege, wealth, and global attention. But what exactly is it like to grow up in a royal family where your every move is watched by millions? What does it mean to be born into a life where money is no object and luxury is the norm? Today we're diving deep into the life of a young boy whose future holds not only the monarchy, but potentially a fortune so vast it places him in the rarefied air of what some might call the trillionaire lifestyle. Welcome back to The Wealthiest, where you will learn the ins and outs of the world's elite, how they live and how they spend their accumulated wealth. Let's get started. The royal birth of Prince George. On July 22, 2013, at precisely 4:24 p.m., the world paused to witness history. Born at St. Mary's Hospital in London, Prince George Alexander Louis arrived with all the pomp and circumstance you would expect for a future monarch. The first sight of him, cradled in the arms of his mother, Princess Kate, marked the beginning of a media frenzy that hasn't slowed down since. His father, Prince William, stood by proudly, visibly emotional. "He's got a good pair of lungs on him," William quipped to the press, giving a glimpse into their joy as new parents. Even as a baby, everything Prince George did, wore, or touched turned to gold, literally. For instance, when George made his first public appearance wrapped in a beautiful shawl crafted by the British brand G.H. Hurt & Son, it sold out within hours. That was a historic moment for the royal family. For the first time since the reign of Queen Victoria, there were 3 generations of direct heirs to the British throne: Charles, William, and now George. It was also a time of great change for the monarchy, as a 2011 succession law ensured that George's place in the line of succession was secure, regardless of whether he had been born male or female. His parents chose the name George, possibly in homage to his great-great-grandfather, King George VI, who led the country through the difficult years of World War II. As a future king, Prince George's life was mapped out even before he was born. But beyond the headlines, what is the reality of living in such an extraordinary position of wealth and influence? A childhood steeped in tradition and wealth. It didn't take long for Prince George to step into his royal duties. In 2014, at just 8 months old, George made his first public appearance during a royal tour of New Zealand. This wasn't just any regular baby's outing. It was a carefully orchestrated event where George, already a media sensation, joined his parents in a playgroup at a government building. Interestingly, his father, Prince William, had been filmed in a similar setting at the same location decades earlier. While much of George's early life was spent in Anmer Hall, a sprawling estate in Norfolk, gifted by the Queen, the family later moved to Kensington Palace in London to accommodate the young prince's education. George attended Westacre Montessori School in Norfolk, a decision influenced by the upbringing of his father and uncle, Prince Harry. This was a far cry from the strict traditional upbringing one might imagine for a future king. Growing up, royal, schooling, fun, and duty. By 2017, George was ready to start primary school at Thomas's Battersea, a private institution in London. His first day was marked by a slightly nervous walk into school, holding his father's hand, while Kate, pregnant with their 3rd child, Prince Louis, stayed home. For many parents, that moment of dropping their child off for their first day at school is nerve-wracking. But imagine doing that in front of an audience of millions. The scrutiny is intense, and every moment of George's life, whether private or public, is magnified. But despite the pressure, George's parents have taken great care to ensure he enjoys a childhood full of fun and adventure. In fact, one of the key themes in George's life is a balance between his royal responsibilities and experiencing the joys of being a young boy. At Princess Charlotte's christening, George was seen playfully interacting with the crowd, and in 2018, at Trooping the Colour, he was spotted laughing and joking with his cousins on the Buckingham Palace balcony. In 2023, at the age of just 9, George performed his first ceremonial duty as a page of honor at the coronation of his grandfather, King Charles III. But George's education isn't just confined to the classroom. His extracurricular activities include a wide array of experiences, from sports to music to public speaking, designed to ensure he is a well-rounded individual. Royal wealth. A trillionaire in the making. Let's talk about wealth. While Prince George may not have access to a personal bank account just yet, his future fortune is tied to one of the world's wealthiest and most influential families. The British royal family's assets are vast, and while the exact figures can be tricky to pin down, estimates suggest the monarchy's total assets could be worth around $88 billion. This includes everything from real estate, like Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle, to the Duchy of Cornwall, which is passed down to the heir to the throne. But George's potential wealth goes beyond the family's current holdings. When he ascends to the throne, George will inherit the Crown Estate, a massive portfolio of lands and assets that generates hundreds of millions of pounds each year. And while the royal family doesn't personally own the Crown Estate, it's held in trust for the nation. It provides the sovereign grant, a percentage of its profits that funds the monarchy's activities. In 2023 alone, the Crown Estate generated over $315 million, with 25% of that allocated to royal activities. In addition to the Crown Estate, George stands to inherit the Duchy of Cornwall from his father. This private estate, worth around $1.2 billion, provides income to the Prince of Wales and is one of the most lucrative land holdings in the country. The estate spans more than 52,000 hectares of land and includes residential, agricultural, and commercial properties. With all of these assets at his future disposal, Prince George could one day control a fortune that places him at the top of global wealth rankings. Some speculate that George could be one of the world's first trillionaires, depending on how the global economy and royal investments evolve over the coming decades. A life of luxury, homes, holidays, and hobbies. While George's future wealth is impressive, his current lifestyle is far from ordinary. Take, for instance, the family homes. The Cambridge family has lived in several lavish residences, from Kensington Palace to Anmer Hall. Kensington Palace, located in central London, serves as their primary residence. The palace is a sprawling complex with private quarters for the family and expansive gardens, all nestled within the heart of one of the world's most expensive cities. A house like this in London's market would easily be valued at tens of millions of pounds, though of course the royal family doesn't exactly pay rent. Their country home, Anmer Hall, located on the Sandringham estate in Norfolk, offers the family a retreat from the hustle and bustle of royal life. Surrounded by 20,000 acres of private land, it's the perfect place for George and his siblings to enjoy outdoor activities like horse riding, swimming, and football. The estate is also home to an indoor swimming pool, a tennis court, and vast gardens, essentially a playground for royal children. Speaking of holidays, George has already enjoyed vacations that most people could only dream of. From skiing trips in the French Alps to private getaways on Mustique, the Caribbean island favored by the royal family, George's childhood has been filled with jet-setting adventures. The costs of these luxury holidays? Let's just say that a week in Mustique can easily set you back $30,000 or more. But for the royals, these are annual traditions. Beyond homes and holidays, Prince George has also been exposed to an array of elite hobbies. In 2016, he met President Barack Obama while dressed in his bathrobe, a light-hearted moment that captured the public's imagination. The meeting took place at Kensington Palace, where George stayed up past his bedtime to greet the Obamas, a testament to the mix of royal duty and childhood innocence that characterizes his early years. In 2024, Prince George joined his family in taking part in the Big Help Out event, a volunteer day organized as part of King Charles III's coronation celebrations. George got his hands dirty, helping out with construction work at a scout hut in Slough. His involvement wasn't just symbolic. He was seen operating a digger with his father and engaging in archery, showcasing his love for the outdoors and physical activities. These are the types of down-to-earth moments that help keep the royal family connected to the people, even amid their life of extreme luxury. The wealth behind the royal titles. When we think about wealth, we usually think of cash, assets, and investments. But Prince George's wealth is on another level entirely. While the British monarchy is a multi-billion-dollar institution, George's personal wealth is staggering. His estimated net worth is around $2.4 billion, with predictions that this will only increase as he inherits even more of the royal fortune. And it's not just about tangible assets. George's portfolio will eventually include investments in private equity and trusts that have been carefully curated by financial advisors. These investments have been selected to ensure long-term growth and stability, with a focus on sustainability and ethical investing. Imagine having experts managing your money, ensuring not just growth, but that every penny aligns with your values and preserves the family's legacy. The Charlotte effect. How George's sister plays a role. We can't talk about Prince George's wealth without mentioning his little sister, Princess Charlotte. While George is often in the spotlight as the future king, Charlotte's financial influence has arguably eclipsed her brother's. According to Reader's Digest Australia, Princess Charlotte is worth an estimated $3.2 billion, making her the richest royal child. Just like her brother, everything Charlotte wears or touches becomes a sensation, creating what's been coined the Charlotte effect. For example, when she was christened in 2015 at St. Mary Magdalene Church in Sandringham, everything from her outfit to her accessories sold out immediately. As Charlotte grows older, her influence in the world of fashion and consumer behavior will continue to expand, ensuring her place as one of the wealthiest individuals in the world without even holding a traditional job. Exclusive opportunities and global exposure. It's easy to envy Prince George's wealth, but his access to opportunities might be even more enviable. The British royal family's extensive network includes world leaders, business tycoons, and cultural icons, all of whom are potential mentors, collaborators, and partners for George in the future. How many of us have ever dreamed of having such connections, let alone growing up with them? Then there's the travel. By the time most kids have experienced a family vacation to Disneyland, Prince George has traveled across continents, attended state banquets, and observed foreign cultures, whether visiting schools in Canada or attending a formal event in India. George's early exposure to global perspectives is preparing him for the diplomatic responsibilities he will eventually inherit. Security, the invisible shield. With great wealth and status come great risks. Prince George, like other members of the royal family, lives under constant protection. His safety is of the utmost priority, and he's surrounded by a highly trained team of security professionals. These bodyguards aren't just there to escort him. They are experts in assessing threats, planning safe routes, and ensuring that no harm comes to the future king. Take, for example, the Special Escort Group that provides security whenever George and his family travel. The SEG ensures that convoys run smoothly, even in high-traffic areas like London, using their specialized training to maneuver efficiently. The group's skills are so sharp that in one instance, during Prince Harry's trip to the Invictus Games in 2014, an SEG driver collided with a taxi but quickly ensured that Prince Harry was safe. It's a dangerous job, but one that's crucial for ensuring George's safety. Thomas's Battersea, George's school, also has some of the most advanced security measures. Before any child, including George, is admitted, their families go through a meticulous vetting process. Background checks are performed not only on the children, but also on their parents, ensuring that no potential threats are lurking within the school community. The school's security personnel work closely with the royal family's security team, coordinating protection efforts to maintain the safety and privacy of all students. Inheritance and the future. Prince George's financial future is as secure as it is expansive. As he grows older, George will inherit substantial portions of the British monarchy's wealth. This includes estates like Balmoral Castle and Sandringham House, both valued in the hundreds of millions. These properties are not just family homes. They are cultural icons steeped in history, and they generate significant income through tourism, agriculture, and other ventures. Additionally, George's inheritance will include valuable art collections, jewelry, and other assets that have been passed down through the royal family for generations. The crown jewels alone, housed in the Tower of London, are worth around $3 billion, and while George won't own them outright, they are part of the royal legacy he will inherit as king. But beyond the tangible assets, Prince George stands to inherit something far more valuable: the influence and power that come with being the monarch of one of the most powerful nations in the world. As future King of England, George will wield considerable political and social influence, shaping not just the future of the British monarchy, but also the nation itself. A life under scrutiny, the cost of royalty. While the wealth and privileges of being a royal are undeniable, there is a cost to this life that most of us will never experience: constant scrutiny. From the moment he was born, George's every move has been documented, analyzed, and speculated upon. His future is laid out before him, and while he may have more opportunities than any other child, he also has far more responsibility. Growing up in the public eye means that George has to live up to not just the expectations of his family, but also of an entire nation. Every choice he makes, every public appearance, and even his private moments are observed. Imagine having your entire life planned out from the start, with little room for deviation. While George has access to unparalleled wealth and power, he also has to navigate the pressures of living under the world's watchful gaze. A tragic year, family struggles in 2024. As glamorous as George's life may seem, it hasn't been without its hardships. The year 2024 brought a series of emotional challenges for the young prince and his family. In February, his grandfather, King Charles, revealed that he had been diagnosed with cancer. A month later, in March, Princess Kate also announced her own cancer diagnosis. The royal family delayed making this news public to allow time for George, Charlotte, and Louis to process the situation privately before facing the public. These revelations undoubtedly had a profound impact on George, who, despite his young age, will have to grapple with the same sense of responsibility and resilience that has defined the royal family for generations. It's a stark reminder that while wealth and privilege offer many comforts, they don't shield you from life's harsh realities. But just like Queen Elizabeth II, who ruled with grace and composure for over 70 years, George will need to develop the strength to lead through adversity. The Future King, a life of duty and promise. Looking ahead, Prince George's life will only become more complex as he grows older. He will continue to balance his royal duties with his personal interests and, like his father, will likely take on more responsibilities within the monarchy. There's speculation that he may break tradition by not joining the military, though that decision has not been confirmed. If George does choose to serve, it would echo the paths taken by his father, grandfather, and great-grandfather, all of whom had distinguished military careers. However, his parents, William and Kate, are keen to give him the freedom to choose his own destiny, a modern twist on an ancient role. The legacy continues. Beyond the titles, the wealth, and the responsibilities, George's life offers a unique glimpse into the power of legacy. The British royal family has managed to maintain relevance in an ever-changing world, and George is the next in line to carry that legacy forward. His wealth may be unimaginable to most of us, but his future as king will likely define his legacy more than any monetary value. If you liked our video, please leave a comment letting us know what you liked and why. And be sure to subscribe to our channel to show your support and not miss any upcoming content. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Until then, dream big and shoot for the stars.